When I saw her face on the billboard downtown, holding my product and smiling like she invented it, my heart stopped. The logo, the colors, even the tagline, all mine. I stood there, clutching my coffee, watching the girl I once called my best friend, Alyssa, living the life I had dreamed of. My name is Sophie Taylor, and 3 years ago, I trusted Alyssa with everything. My plans, my secrets, my dream business. We used to laugh about how we'd build an empire together. But now she had built it without me, and worse, she'd just sent me an invitation. An invitation to invest in the very company that stole my soul. And the craziest part? I said yes. Alyssa and I met during our sophomore year of college. She was the spark in every room, loud, confident, and fearless. I was the quiet one with the big ideas. We clicked instantly. I had the brains. She had the charisma. She'd often say, "You think, I talk. Together, we'll rule the world." After graduation, I struggled to find a job that didn't make me feel small. I'd always wanted to start something of my own, something meaningful. That's when my idea for Lumia Skincare was born, a sustainable skincare line built around minimal waste and natural ingredients. I poured everything into research, formulas, packaging, sourcing. Alyssa cheered me on the whole time. She'd bring coffee to my apartment, help test my prototypes, and even brainstorm names late into the night. To her, it was our little dream. To me, it was my life's work. But dreams blur when friendship and ambition collide. I never saw the danger in sharing every detail with her. Not until the day I handed her my pitch deck, just to get her feedback. Looking back, that moment was the beginning of the end. A few months later, Alyssa started acting strange. She stopped replying to messages, skipped our usual weekend hangouts, and dodged my calls. Then one morning, I got an email from a mutual acquaintance. "Hey, Soph, congrats on Alyssa's new venture. You two really did it." I frowned. "We two?" I clicked the attached link, and there it was. A website for Lumea Beauty, with the same minimalist style, same product concept, and nearly the same name as mine. My stomach dropped. Every detail, down to the tagline's "simplicity that shines," was ripped from my notes. Notes Alyssa had access to. I called her immediately. No answer. Texted her, "What is this? Why are you launching my idea?" An hour later, she replied, "Soph, I didn't steal anything. You gave up on the idea. I just made it real." That was the moment something inside me cracked. I spent nights crying, staring at the half-finished prototypes that would never see the light of day. I deleted my research files, stopped talking about business altogether, and took a job at a small marketing firm just to pay bills. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. 2 years later, as I scrolled through LinkedIn, a message popped up from none other than Alyssa White. "Hey Soph, long time no talk. I'm hosting an exclusive investor brunch for Lumea. You've got great marketing instincts. I'd love to have you there." My hands trembled. I wasn't sure if I wanted to scream, cry, or laugh. She stole my idea, and now she wanted me to invest in it. I grew up watching my parents struggle to make something of their small bakery. My mom worked until midnight frosting cakes. My dad delivered pastries before dawn. Their hands were cracked, but their hearts were full. They taught me that every business starts with love and trust. That's why, when I shared my skincare idea with Alyssa, I never guarded it like a secret. I thought she was part of me. I told her everything. My sourcing contacts, my formulation notes, even my supplier in Thailand. When she disappeared after graduation, I assumed life just got busy. I never imagined she was in labs, factories, and boardrooms, building my dream. The betrayal wasn't just professional, it was personal. Alyssa wasn't some rival. She was the girl who'd helped me move apartments, who'd held me when my grandmother died. And yet, she didn't hesitate to erase me from the story. For 2 years, I avoided the topic entirely. My coworkers at the marketing firm knew me as the quiet creative, never guessing the ambition I'd buried. I'd see Lumea billboards and switch streets just to avoid them. But when that invitation came, curiosity took over anger. I needed to see her again. I needed closure or revenge. The brunch was held at a boutique hotel downtown. Everything was polished, pastel, perfect. Alyssa was radiant, dressed in a white suit that screamed success. She spotted me immediately and squealed, "Sophie, I knew you'd come." I smiled, but inside, my chest burned. She hugged me like nothing had ever happened. "We're expanding into Europe," she said proudly. "And I think you'd make an amazing strategic investor." "Investor? In my own idea?" I forced a laugh. "That's impressive, Alyssa. How did you manage to grow so fast?" She winked. "Right timing, right people. You know how it is." I didn't know whether to slap her or shake her hand, but one thing was certain. This wasn't over. I went home that night with her glossy investor packet clutched in my hand. The same fonts, the same tone, the same story I had once written in my dorm room. Only this time, Alyssa's name was on every page. I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed our college nights, me scribbling formulas, her taking photos for reference, the way she'd asked for a copy of my presentation, just to review. I realized she hadn't stolen my idea in one big betrayal. It was death by 1,000 cuts. Slowly, silently. The next morning, I made a decision. I would attend her next investor meeting, but not as a victim, as a competitor. I spent weeks revisiting my old notebooks, recreating formulas, modernizing the branding. I called my old suppliers, who surprisingly remembered me. One even said, "You were the original, right? Alyssa mentioned you once." That single line reignited something in me. I started from scratch, naming my brand Aurea, a nod to the Latin word for golden. I built a simple website, focused on eco-friendly refills, and used my marketing skills to craft a compelling story. The woman who refused to be erased. Then I quietly bought a ticket to Lumea's upcoming investor gala. This time, not as an invitee, but as a sponsor under my new company name. When Alyssa saw the Aurea logo on the event board, her face froze. I smiled sweetly. "Hey, bestie, guess we're both entrepreneurs now." The air was thick with expensive perfume and fake smiles. Investors mingled with champagne glasses, discussing market shares and influencer deals. Alyssa tried to stay composed, but her eyes darted toward my booth every few minutes. Aurea's setup was minimal but striking. Transparent jars, refillable packs, and a simple banner, "Sustainability with a Soul." I saw a few investors drift from her display to mine. One of them, a major venture capitalist, approached me. "This is impressive," he said. "What makes your brand different from Lumea?" I looked directly at Alyssa, who was pretending not to listen. "I believe skincare isn't about selling perfection. It's about restoring authenticity. I started this after my original idea was taken without credit. But instead of fighting dirty, I decided to rebuild with integrity." The words hung heavy in the air. People were whispering. Alyssa's PR smile faltered. Later that evening, she cornered me near the restroom. "What are you doing, Sophie? Trying to ruin me?" I met her glare calmly. "No, Alyssa, just reclaiming what's mine." She scoffed. "You'll never beat me. I've got investors, distribution, brand deals." "Maybe," I interrupted, "but you don't have a story people can trust anymore." She stormed off. A week later, a video clip from the gala went viral on TikTok. Someone had captured my statement about rebuilding with integrity. The internet loved it. Comments flooded in. Finally, someone calling out fake founders. Team Sophie all the way. Orders for Aurea skyrocketed overnight. Influencers reached out, journalists wanted interviews, and investors started ghosting Lumea. Alyssa tried to spin the narrative, calling me bitter. But screenshots of our old college photos and my dated prototypes told the real story. For once, the truth was louder than her PR team. 6 months later, Aurea had partnered with 2 major retailers and secured a sustainability grant. Alyssa's company? It was still standing, but limping. Lawsuits, bad press, and dwindling investor confidence had dimmed her once bright brand. One afternoon, as I was leaving my office, I received a message. "Sophie, can we talk? Please." It was Alyssa. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her at a quiet cafe. She looked different, tired, smaller somehow. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry," she said softly. "I shouldn't have taken your work. I thought if I succeeded, we both would. But I lost control. For the first time, I didn't feel anger, just peace. I forgive you," I said. "But forgiveness doesn't mean partnership." She nodded. "I know." We parted ways quietly. As I stepped outside, I realized something profound. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's rising higher than the person who tried to bury you. Betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. It often comes from those we trust most. But losing something unfairly doesn't mean your story is over. If I'd stayed bitter, Alyssa would have won twice. Once when she stole my dream, and again when she destroyed my spirit. Instead, I rebuilt, not to outshine her, but to prove that integrity still matters. Today, Aurea stands as more than a skincare brand. It's a symbol of rebirth, resilience, and reclaiming your worth. So if someone ever steals your light, don't chase them. Just build a brighter one. Because the world always remembers who glows with truth.